Hey guys, 7WB Rocks here. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 38 of Saturday Night's Kickout. Now, hope you're having a good day, a good Saturday. My day's been alright. It's not been that great, to be honest. I'm not having the best day, but you guys know this is what it's about, talking wrestling, and I freaking love that. You guys know that. But quick side note, went to see The Avengers today. It's pretty good. It was, I don't know, better. I think the first one was better, but it was still a good movie nonetheless. Good superhero movie. I mean, I think judging it, either it's Marvel, DC, if it's a superhero movie, it's usually always good, except if it's the Green Lantern. That movie sucked. But we're going to get into Extreme Rules. I'm not going to go too deep into it because it was a week. You guys have, it was the day after Extreme Rules happened. And, you don't want to hear me just go on and on about that. We're going to talk about Extreme Rules, Raw, TNA, a few other stuff, and hopefully we just enjoy it and you have a good time. Some like big matches happening, like two guys are like boxing or something like that. I don't know. No, just kidding. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Money Mayweather are going at it right. Starting soon, I think. I really don't know. $100 for a pay-per-view. That's crazy. I remember the WWE ones were really expensive too, but $100, jeez. But if you're not watching that, or you just want to stop by and watch me, or you just watching it at a later date, I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. Going into Extreme Rules, let's get right into it. The Chicago Street Fight with Ambrose and Harper kicked it off. Now, this was an interesting idea. At first, I really hated it. Like, I tweeted about it. I was like, this is so dumb. I'm talking about when Harper got into the car backstage when they had started fighting. The match had been good as up to that point. Ambrose jumps through the window and they speed off, driving away. And the announcers are like, well, we don't know what to do now. So basically, the match was hour long. A lot of people on Twitter were saying, oh, they're going to come back or they're going to be fighting in the streets of Chicago. They're going to be in like random places fighting, and it's going to be awesome. And that would have been a great idea. That's exactly how I would have booked that match if I had been booking it. I would have booked it just like that. I would have had it like kind of like the hardcore 24/7 rules when they would fight like a Chuck E. Cheese and stuff and just fighting in the ball pit and stuff. I would have done that somewhere in Chicago, them just random places fighting. But no, that did not happen. They drove back after the New Day was doing their interview. A car busted through the set, and sure enough, it was Ambrose and Harper fighting. So really, everyone thought it was supposed to be this big surprise at the end. How are they going to get back in the arena? What were they going to be doing? They drove in. They fight their way back to the ring, and they start throwing in chairs. All of them got chairs in the ring, and not hundreds. Why did I say millions? Gosh. I'm exaggerating. A bunch of chairs were in the ring, and it looked like a big spot was about to happen. And I think Harper was going to jump off the top rope onto Ambrose when he had a bunch of chairs stacked onto him. But Ambrose got up in time, picked up while Harper was on the top rope, and threw him, and he missed most of the chairs. I think he landed on like one. So he, after that, got the dirty deeds and got the 1, 2, 3. So I think a lot of people are expecting, including me, we're expecting some big finish, some awesome chair spot, but really nothing happened. I was disappointed. I said this was going to be the show stealer, and it wasn't, and I was pretty disappointed on that. But a good match nonetheless, but I was just very disappointed. Ziggler versus Sheamus, a Kiss Me Arse match. Halfway through the match, I realized my prediction was wrong. I predicted Sheamus was going to win, and I knew it halfway in the match. I was like, Ziggler's going to win, and Sheamus is going to be the heel and be like, screw you, I'm not kissing your butt. That's weird. But sure enough, Ziggler got the roll-up, got the 1, 2, 3, and when it was time for him to kiss his tushy, I don't know, his butt, PG, whatever, arse, Sheamus low-blowed him and then made Ziggler kiss his butt, but in a PG way where he just pulled his tights up barely. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I didn't want to see that, but I'm just saying it was PG. But yeah, I think a lot of people saw that coming. At first, I didn't, but yeah, he played the heel, and we'll talk more about it when I get to Raw. New Day versus Kid and Cesaro, which was probably the best technical wrestling match of the night, hands down, I think. Really good match, really good tag team. The finish, I think the last like 5-7 minutes, it picked up so great, and they did some crazy spots. But the New Day actually got the surprising win. and which is disappointing. I think Kid and Cesaro deserve to have a lengthy run, but the WWE, they're going to run it with the heels, and they are legitimate heels. Like, the fans pretty much hate them, and that's hard to come by during wrestling these days. I mean, a lot of the heels get cheered now, and they got the whole "New Day sucks" chant. You know, even if you don't like them, maybe, or even if you do like them, you still chant that just because of the heels. But yeah, they got the belts, and I wasn't too mad about it. I know a lot of people were pissed, but you go with the heels, and they deserve it. I mean, Kofi Kingston pulling the trunks, you know, being a heel. Who would have ever thought that would happen like a few years ago? I never would have expected Kofi to have an actual like feud, an actual storyline where he's the bad guy. But moving on, Cena versus Rusev in a Russian chain match for the United States Championship. You might think I'm stupid for saying this, but the chain really limited them from what they could do. And you're thinking, well, that's kind of the point of the match. They're tied together with a chain, duh. But I mean, you really can't do much with that. So the match was pretty bad, I thought. I think a lot of people were saying that too on Twitter. I'm just judging from Twitter, so you know you don't have to take my word for it. But I don't know, it just wasn't that good of a match. Lana got a big cheer, so now they're thinking about turning her face, but it was just an okay match. And then Cena, of course, got the win. Good for him. I hate the whole rule where you had to touch the pads or touch the turnbuckles, and then the light went off, and the whole light. If you touched one and then you got attacked during it, it started over. It was a whole deal. It was just totally unnecessary. Just say you touch the 4 pads, you win. Who cares? But Cena got the win, and Lana went backstage to the Authority and got another rematch. But it's an I Quit match. So Cena's not saying I quit, and Rusev's not going to win this. Even if they pull the microphone, phone, you know, John Cena saying I quit, you know, like The Rock and Mick Foley. But, I mean, it's not – I think Rusev's going to lose. I don't see how they're going to be able to go – where's Rusev going to go from here? Where's Lana going to go from here? Cena's going to continue defending the United States Championship. But it seems like the whole Bray thing over again. At least Bray got a win. Bray won at Extreme Rules in that stupid finish in the steel cage match. But it was just like, you know, they don't need another match. Like, I really don't want to see it. Like, the WrestleMania match I was excited for. Now I'm just like, all right, this feud should have ended at WrestleMania, maybe even Extreme Rules if the payoff had been a little better. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. I really would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Probably the best match on the night, and that might give away my match of the week, but later on in the show. But Reigns versus Big Show in a last man standing match. Now, this match definitely was a spot fest. I mean, one of the spots where Big Show choke slammed Reigns out from the ring to the outside through 2 tables could have ended any other match, but this was like a block to build, just continue to build. Like, this was the lowest block they had. And that was like a crazy spot. And then they just kept doing stuff. Table after table was breaking. Announce tables, you know, spears through barricades. They just kept going and going. I was like, dang, this is like crazy. But it proved that Reigns and Big Show both can have a good match. A really great match, actually. But Reigns, I think he's proved himself. You know, I would like to see him, you know, the main event spot. I don't know. It kind of bugs me. Let me know if you guys feel the same way. But after WrestleMania, I'm totally behind Reigns. I'm like, you know, he can do a good match. You know, he's done it. He did it at Fastlane, did it with Lesnar, did it with Show. He's had great matches, 3 consecutive pay-per-views. But then I don't know why, but for Raw, when he comes out, his music hits, I just immediately think, oh, it's Reigns. And I really don't know why. Like, I seriously have no idea why I do that, because I like his pay-per-view matches. They've been really good. But when he comes out on Raw, I'm just like, oh, boring old Reigns. I don't know. I'm weird like that. But it was a great match. The final spot where Reigns ran the announce tables, jumped, speared Big Show, and they smashed through another announce table. That should have ended it, I think. That was awesome. But, of course, with Big Show, every last man standing match, and they have another announce table and flip it on. That spear through the announce table should have ended it. I think that, call it quits, that was an awesome way to end it. No, he has to pick up the announce table and bury him. So, you know, it was like the finish. I didn't think that announce table spot was needed, but it was, you know, pretty sick. They tore the arena to pieces. Tables, barricades, announce tables. You know, nothing was safe. So I thought that was really good on both parts. A Big Show can do a good match, and I think Reigns we kind of all know can do a good match. Moving on, Rollins and Orton in a steel cage match. RKO's banned. Kane's the guardian of the gate. So much stuff was booked for this match. Kane going wild, J&J security, Orton RKO and everybody. Rollins and Kane fighting. Kane choke slamming all of them. You know, so much was happening. Rollins hits the RKO, and the rule was the RKO was banned, but they're saying, oh, it's banned for Orton. You know, the heel JBL, he's saying it's for Orton. Michael Cole's saying no, the RKO is banned. I mean, that's the rule. Nobody should be able to use it, which I agree. But it's the heel thing to do, and Rollins got the win. So mediocre rules was just progressing storylines, like in all honesty. Moving on to Raw, King of the Ring is back. This is mediocre King of the Ring too, because just it was such a fun pay-per-view. I mean, I didn't watch it when it was happening because I'm a very young fan. I started in 2009. The last winner was Regal. So I saw Sheamus win it live. That was cool. Not like at the arena, but I saw it happening while I was on TV. So that was good. But just, I don't know. It just has nothing to it. I like that they have up-and-comers in the match like Neville and guys that really need big wins. Ambrose, Ziggler, you know, Bad News Barrett. But just there's something that just that pay-per-view feels gone. And it just doesn't seem that big, especially after Sheamus. Once he won King of the Ring, he went to jobbing. So I don't know. We'll see where Bad News Barrett goes. But, yeah, King of the Ring was back. And that always gets me excited, but it just wasn't what it's been. Ryback versus Bo Dallas. This has nothing to do with King of the Ring. I'll get into that later. But Ryback versus Bo Dallas in a match. And, of course, he won. He's Ryback. Come on. And it's Bo Dallas. Then Bray Wyatt came out and hit him with a Sister Abigail. So Bray Wyatt has been calling out Ryback. I have a few problems with this because, you know, I hate complaining about everything. But I really don't like the fact that, first off, that Bray loses to The Undertaker, still calls himself the new face of fear, still does the promos. I think that's bad on the character. He should admit his defeat, admit his fault, and go from there, not just totally bypass it. This feels like he's just there to be at WrestleMania and nothing more. Bray needs his character needs to evolve from this, and it didn't do that. And it just seems like, okay, when Ryback and Bray's feud ends, is he just going to go back to doing eerie promos and then finally figure out who he's calling out? I don't really want that. I want his character to mean something and not just, even though his promos are fantastic, which they are amazing. I don't like that they keep doing that he just keeps doing promos and then finally we figure out who he's calling out. I just don't feel the need for that. And really, I want Bray and Bo to somehow cross paths. I think that'd be hilarious and good TV. So, now has a new character. I skipped a lot of Raw because King of the Ring was the qualifying matches, and I'll talk more about it. But yeah, a lot of Raw was the qualifying King of the Ring matches, and I'm not gonna hit too many segments, so I do apologize for that if you were looking forward to it. But Sandow has a new character, and it's legit just the same character he was doing. So he gets in the ring, does like a personal story, how he came in the WWE in a robe and saying you're welcome and stuff, and that didn't work out. I'm guessing talking about when he cashed in Money in the Bank and lost to Cena. Went on to how he didn't know himself. He couldn't find himself, so he did a bunch of random characters, and he was with them. He was as Mizdow, and basically he said that's not him, and he wants to go on from here. Curtis Axel interrupts him, and Curtis Axel says, you know, Axelmania, you know, that great stuff. And Mizdow mocks him. Sandow just imitates him. And I'm like, I legit thought this whole promo was just you being you being Damian Sandow, and you're mocking him. So some of the dirt sheets are saying this is going to be his new character. He's going to imitate people. Sure enough, after Raw, when Renee Young interviewed him, I checked it out on YouTube, he imitated her and mocked her. So I don't really get it. Like, I felt like the whole Mizdow thing should be done. Shouldn't be imitating anybody. It should be him. It should be a new character that isn't like acting like other people. That's stupid, I think. But we'll see where it goes. I like Sandow. I think he's talented. We'll just see where he goes from here. The main event was Kane and Rollins versus Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. Reigns and Orton got the win after Kane went insane and started. Kane went insane. That rhymed. Kane went insane and chokeslammed everyone, and Randy Orton RKO'd him 1, 2, 3. In the match, what Kane said, at the end of the night, we'll find out what Rollins will be doing at Payback, defending the title. Will he verse Orton, or will he verse Reigns, or will he verse Reigns and Orton? So in a triple threat match at Payback. Payback's only like 20 days away, so that's crazy. But of course, the match was voted. The fans got to vote. Rollins versus Orton versus Roman Reigns. So really a big surprise. I didn't really get how Orton and Reigns were like happy when that happened. Sure, they hate Rollins and they want to see him get the crap beaten out of him, but I think a one-on-one match would go a lot better. Like, wouldn't you want you versus Rollins so you know if there's only you? Rollins is the only person between you and the title, not another guy. So I didn't get why they were happy about that, but Reigns speared Rollins and to end off the show. So yay, good for you. Moving on to King of the Ring, the finals, which was on the network. Bad News Barrett beat R-Truth, obviously, come on. And Neville beat Sheamus because Dolph Ziggler interfered. And, yeah, Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus feud picking up. He attacked Sheamus after the match, and Sheamus got so bloody on the eye. Like, it was a cut above his eyebrow, and it was just pouring. And I was like, dang, that looks brutal. But the finals, Neville versus Barrett, and Barrett sadly did get the win. I was really rooting for Neville, but the heel is the obvious choice to get the win in King of the Ring. So King Bad News Barrett, I think they're calling him King Barrett, but we'll see where the character title, maybe give him a title or something, but hopefully he just doesn't go from jobbing from here. Hopefully it's not like the Money in the Bank, because usually when the guy wins the Money in the Bank, he jobs for like the next few months and then cashes in. But we'll see what happens. Moving on, NXT, just going to talk about some matches that were announced for the next NXT pay-per-view. There are special events, excuse me, not pay-per-view. But it's like May 20th, I think, is what it is. I could be wrong. But for the #1 contendership for Owens' title, or whoever wins in a later match that I'll tell you guys about. But it's going to be Hideo Itami versus Tyler Breeze versus Finn Balor for the #1 contendership to the title. That's going to be insane. I really can't wait for that. But the main event will be Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the NXT title. So I see Kevin Owens walking out, which makes me think Breeze won't win the #1 contendership. I don't think Finn Balor will. I don't think he'll have Balor versus Owens again. Maybe they will. But I'm thinking Hideo Itami wins it because he's the face. So I'm thinking face versus heel, obviously. I see Owens winning again. I'm hoping a stipulation is added to Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, but I'm thinking Hideo will win the #1 contendership, and then later on he'll verse Owens. I don't see Breeze winning it, and I don't see Balor. I think Balor and Itami are going to the main roster soon, so I don't think they even need the title, but they're just giving Owens those matches. So yeah, that's exciting. I love the pay-per-views, and Sami Zayn versus Owens is headlining yet another special event, and it's going to be a good match. Like, I think it's going to be a lot better than the first one. The first one was really good. The storytelling was amazing, but I think this one is going to be just, man, fighting and just beating the crap out of each other. So I'm really excited for it. NXT's continuing to kill it. TNA, we're moving on to TNA, Hardcore Justice. TNA, man, come on. They have Hardcore Justice like every week, I feel like. But once again, this was kind of mediocre Justice. This wasn't that great. I actually did not finish it. This was the first Impact in a while that I have not finished. Like, I was physically like, this is boring. And once again, I hate to be negative about wrestling. I'm sorry, but it makes it a lot more fun. So we're going to talk about it. Davey Richards and the Hardys versus the Revolution in a street fight. The Revolution can't do anything right, so of course they lost. And James Storm came out and he got pissed at them. The Revolution was Manic, Abyss, and Koya. So they lost, and James Storm came out and he was like, y'all suck. You need to end it. Yeah, and just end it. And no, not really. But yeah, Hardys and Davey got the win, so cool for them. X Division ladder title match. Kenny King versus Rockstar Spud versus Tigre Uno versus Mandrews. What's his name? Something No, I don't know what his name is. Something Andrews? I don't know. But here's the deal. This is what I didn't get. awesome match. Like the spots they did were really good, really awesome stuff. Mandrews hits an awesome shooting star press to the outside. Tigre Uno was doing some great things, but Rockstar Spud was, of course, defending the title match. And a ladder match, that's awesome. Ladder matches are always cool. But I don't get what any of these other guys deserve to get a title shot. Tigre Uno, like, he was just there. He was just like I feel like the people backstage were like, hey, do you want to be in a ladder match for the title? And he was like, see, of course. And they were like, okay, get your gear and go. And Mandrews, like, I don't remember him doing anything. So he went out there, Kenny King, representing the Beatdown Clan, and they apparently are in like every title match, it seems now. So Kenny King went out there, and Kenny King ended up getting the win with the help of Homicide, retrieving that belt. So it went from the Beatdown Clan with Loki to Rockstar Spud. Sorry, I got a text. Excuse me. Then back to the Beatdown Clan just with Kenny King. So it just seemed like they were switching guys. I'm happy that Kenny King's the champ. I think he'll be a great X Division champion, but it just seems like they're playing hot potato with the title, and they don't really know what to do with it. But Kenny King, I'm hoping, get a lengthy reign and maybe turn face and at what's Destination X fight for the world title. I think that'd be really cool to see. But we'll see what happens. Anderson, Mr. Anderson, he was like doing a parody of EC3 last week, the week before his campaign for being the world title. He's going for the title. He's doing the big campaign, EC3 for 2015. Well, Anderson had his campaign of his own. He said, Anderson for breaking EC3's streak, excuse me. And next week they'll have a match. The fans get to vote. It's going to be either Falls Count Anywhere or an arm wrestling match. I don't really care. EC3 has passed Samoa Joe's record for the longest reigning win streak in TNA history. They've made no mention of this. I feel like, well, first off, them making no mention of it really sucks because I remember when Crimson was going after Joe's winning streak, it was like the biggest deal. Like James Storm beating Crimson's streak was like the craziest thing ever. And they really hit on that. EC3, they're not hitting at it at all. And then EC3, I just feel like they gave him these big wins way too fast. Like, I know they couldn't have spread it out because, Sting left, Bully left, Devon left. But they gave him the big Hall of Fame wins. He beat Sting. He beat Bully Ray like 5 different times. He beat Angle. He beat Devon, I think. I don't know. I think he beat him once just so he was like, I beat everybody in the Hall of Fame. Yay. But I think they need to really spread these out because now come on. It's to the point where it's like, well, you got nothing to do now. So he should have the title, I think. I think he's ready for it. And even if he's not, he's still like the best. He's the best heel in the company right now. So just give it to him. But we'll see what happens. I'm not thinking Anderson's going to beat his streak, but, we've seen crazier things. Taryn Terrell versus Brooke for the Knockouts title. And Taryn Terrell won because she has the dollhouse and she's got those jawbreakers. Yes, last week I said lollipop ball thing. And WWE TNA 1152, go check out his channel. He was hating on that. So, no, it is a lollipop ball thing. No, it's a jawbreaker. They got the win. They put it in her mouth. Just, have a jawbreaker. And Gail Kim came out after Taryn Terrell said no one's going to beat her. And they were like, meaning Taryn, Mia Yim, and Marty Bell. And they were like, there's 3 of us and only 1 of you, so get out. You suck. And Gail Kim said, no, I'm not alone. And Awesome Kong came out. So she equals like 3 people. So it's technically 4 against 3. Gail Kim and Awesome Kong's favor. But next week it's going to be Gail Kim and Awesome Kong versus the Dollhouse. So that should be really good. Like I was really happy that Gail Kim and Awesome Kong teamed up. I think that's awesome. They're like the best knockouts in the history of the knockout division, in my opinion. Loki versus Galloway in a pipe on a pole match. Now, I laugh because this was like the stupidest booked match I've ever seen. Not hating on TNA at all, but like I don't get how they booked this because they did a huge video package about the pipe. The pipe was in play when Drew Galloway busted open Loki and cut behind his ear and just blood was gushing. Oh man, the video looked disgusting. But cut him, and they were saying this whole feud started with the pipe, and tonight it ends with a pipe. So it was like real big on the pipe, the whole, metal pipe. Let's do this. It's going to end the feud. Someone's going to get killed with this pipe. Like, in all honesty, they put it up on a pole. Now, here's what I didn't get. They, like, all through this, I'm thinking, okay, I'm the pole. They grab the pipe. They win. Then they just get to beat the crap out of the guy after. But no, Josh Matthews said, this match can only be won by pinfall or submission. So it was like, well, what's the point of getting the pipe? Like, why even try? Why not just, like, grab a chair and hit the guy in the face? And why do you even try to go for the pipe? So you didn't even need to get the pipe. Yes, the whole thing was you get the pipe and then you can use it, which will help you win. But it was like, okay, like, who cares? Go under and get a chair, which is exactly what Galloway did. They went under the ring, got a chair, and they started using the chair. So it was like, who cares? Then you don't need the pipe. Just bring your own pipe. But it got to the point where the pipe, they were on the top rope with the pole, and the pipe got knocked off somehow. They started fighting still. Galloway ended up getting the pipe. He jumped off the rope to hit Loki. Loki kicked him in the stomach, so he dropped the pipe. Loki picks it up. Loki goes to hit Galloway, misses, and Galloway hits the Future Shock DDT and gets the win. The pipe was never used. So, one, I don't get why the pipe was even on the pole. Two, the whole feud with the video package especially was all about the pipe, and it's not even used during the match. I was like, that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like, what was the point of that? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Please let me know what you think in the comments section. But, I mean, I don't, like what, get your own pipe. Like, I'll go outside, find a pipe in the alley, and I'll use it during the match. But I didn't get it. This is why I called it Mediocre Rules. Mediocre. Wait, did I mess up? No. Sorry, I was looking at the title of the video. Mediocre Rules, Mediocre Hardcore Justice. This just isn't like what it seems. It doesn't seem like the hardcore, it just didn't seem like that big of a hardcore match. But moving on, Angle versus EY in a stretcher match. This is when I stopped watching. I didn't even watch the main event. This was a non-title match, though. So, you had to think, okay, EY's getting the win because it's non-title. But he did. He got the win. He pile drove him. I watched it on YouTube. Another thing I didn't get. The whole thing about the stretcher match is you put the guy on the stretcher and you roll it up the ramp, and then once you pass the line, you win the match. Yay. Okay, whoop-de-doo. That's how it's always been, I thought. No, this match is different. You put the guy on the stretcher and then put the locks and tied him up or whatever, clicked it together, and that's how you won. You just left him there. So you legit just, like, help the EMTs, like, with their job. Like, to send him to the hospital, you were just like, okay, he's ready to go. I clicked it together. He's steady. You can take him hospital. I don't, like, I didn't get that. Like, okay, just beat up the guy and put him on top of it and then just click it together. Like, okay, that just seems stupid. EY gets the win, and good for him. I don't know, man. I'm hating on wrestling. The kick-out segment, which is when I talk about all the positives of wrestling. This is going to be a hard one, but we're not at that yet. We're at the top 5. No, excuse me. Match of the week. I'm going to go with Reigns versus Big Show in the last man standing match. It was really good. Drago versus Prince Puma in a title match and Lucha Underground, which was really good. But I think the spots for the last man standing match were just so crazy that, like, I was blown away by what they did. I'm going to have to give them match of the week. So, yeah, moving on. Top 5. This category or this segment was suggested by WWE TNA1152. Once again, go check out his channel. Number 5, I gave it to New Day because they won the tag team titles. Good for them. They're good heels. Number 4, Seth Rollins. He retained his title. Number 3, Kenny King. He won the X Division title in a ladder match, so that's really cool. 2, EY. I hated on the match, but he did beat the World Heavyweight Champion, so I think he's got that to go with. Number 1, gave it to Bad News Barrett because he won King of the Ring, so that should be a big moment if the WWE capitalizes on it, which they have to do. So the kick-out segment, this is a tough one. Talking about the positives in wrestling. Now, there weren't many. Extreme Rules wasn't the best. Hardcore Justice wasn't the best. But that's the thing with wrestling. It never ends. So it's just, even if it's bad, you have the next week. You have the next month. You have the next pay-per-view. NXT is doing another takeover event, which have always been good. I've never watched it, hadn't liked. Lucha Underground is doing awesome things. If you're not watching, watch it. It's freaking amazing. Ring of Honor, they're doing, they're picking up once War of the Worlds and Global Wars starts. That's when I think Ring of Honor really will pick up. And because right now it's kind of slow, but it's just because they don't have, any events until War of the Wars and Global Wars. The addition of the new tag team champions, they revealed themselves as the Knights something Dawn, Under Dawn. Dang it, I'm sorry, I totally forgot. The Knights of the Rising Dawn, I think. They revealed to be that group, the Red Mask guys, with Chris Sabin. So Chris Sabin being in Ring of Honor is pretty awesome. The Addiction are tag team champions, which I think was not long overdue, but I really expected them to come in straight away and win the tag team titles, but it took them a while. But I'm glad they're back at it. So just thinking about, trying to think about other stuff. PWG is always killing it. DDT, I think, is next. DDT 4, I think, is the next event. So, gosh, I can't wait for that. That's going to be so fun. Tonight, I think the Young Bucks are versing Red Dragon and also versing RPG Vice, Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. So that's going to be a three-way for those IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships. So that's awesome. I think Nick Jackson tweeted about it. So that's really cool. And New Japan's always killing it. I mean, come on. But thank you so much for watching. Wasn't the most exciting episode because it just wasn't that good. I think last week was a lot better. I do apologize for that. Thank you for the one viewer that stayed during most of the show, I think. Maybe he came back or something, or he's just been watching, or she. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at 7WWERocks. And I thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, have a nice day.